Hi guys, Tina here. So guess what? My videos are going to be back to normal. No more destashing. I might have one more destash. There's something I'm still debating on. So, yeah, we'll just leave it at that. But if I do have that destash, it won't be till later on this afternoon. Anyway, update on those destashes. I printed all the shipping labels today for 7 of the packages. I still have 5 other boxes that I need to pick up from the post office. They didn't give me the medium flat rate boxes I shouldn't say they didn't give them to me. They were in the wrong spot, so I grabbed them and I started packaging and I'm like, oh, these are just regular mailing boxes. So tomorrow morning I have to go grab some more flat rate boxes and then put your goodies in there. But everything will be completely shipped out Tuesday morning. So 7 of them are going out tomorrow morning. All the shipping labels are already printed off. Everything is done. And I just want to say a big thank you to everybody who helped me destash. You guys are seriously all amazing. You're going to make my move so much better and easier, I should say. I am going to miss all my goodies, but that's okay. I'm downsizing because my craft room is going to be a lot smaller. And if there's something I really, really miss, I'll just purchase it, when the time comes, if I have the room for stuff like that, more stuff. So anyway, on that note, last night I went through and made sure I had everything that I wanted to sell on a destash. I have, for sure, 2 boxes that I want to pay forward, possibly 3, 2 medium boxes for sure, and possibly maybe a small package. I haven't decided. I have to get some more boxes and fill them up, but it is seriously full of embellishments and stickers, and there are some stamps in there, and they're good stamps. They're not like the cheap dollar stamps. It's just stuff that I know I'm not going to use and stuff that I'd rather pay forward. So I'm doing another pay it forward. So it's going to be US only. You must be a subscriber to me. Also, I want you to be active on my channel. And I had a question last time about that. And what I mean by that is, you leave comments every once in a while, not just when I'm having a giveaway or stuff like that, because I know if somebody was having a giveaway and they would say, I want you to be, make sure you're active. I would maybe comment, but I would say don't enter me, because there's a lot of times where I don't comment on videos because I'm so busy at work, and when I get home, I'm listening to a video and I just don't have time to comment on all the videos I do watch. So just make sure you're active on my YouTube channel. You leave me comments here and there, not just on a giveaway or whatever. You don't have to leave a comment on every video on mine. Just, I want to know that you're active and you do watch my videos. So, with that being said, just leave a comment down below with whatever you want to put in there. Or if you want to comment about what I'm going to share with you, that would be great too. So, like I said, there's going to be 2 medium flat rate boxes filled with stuff that I want to pay it forward to at least 2 people. There might be 3. I haven't, gotten that far. I have to get some boxes. But just thanks to everybody who has helped me destash. You guys seriously are all amazing, and I really, really, truly appreciate it. You guys seriously are awesome. Okay, so anyway, what I did is I actually did a video on this, but when I went to stop my video, it was 18 minutes because I was rambling and talking. So I'm actually going to just explain what I did. So I wanted to do a black ink comparison because I got the new Lawn Fawn black licorice, and excuse my fingers, I have black ink all over them, and my fingers are sore from packaging all the boxes and going through everything. Today is going to be a day of nothing but doing crafty stuff for myself. So anyway, back to what I was going to tell you. I wanted to do a comparison on the Lawn Fawn black licorice ink. So I did already purchase the other colors, so they should be here tomorrow, which I'm super excited about. So this is a dye ink, and it's absolutely amazing. I also stamped out what I'm going to share with you in the Simon Says Stamp black ink, which is a dye ink as well. I also used the MFT hybrid ink, which is it's actually a pigment and a dye ink put together. So yeah, I used that for a black ink. I also used my VersaFine Onyx black ink, and I have purposes for all these different inks, and I'll explain that to you. So I used that one, and I used the Memento Tuxedo Black. I also did stamp out the Avery Elle pigment ink in Neon or New Moon. So I did stamp that out, which I hardly ever use my pigment inks. I used to, but I just don't grab them anymore. So that might be my next destash, is all of my Avery Elle inks. I haven't decided yet, but I'm really considering it. Also, the other two black inks I have, I did not stamp them out because I use these for only two purposes only. I hardly ever use the StazOn black ink. It smells awesome, but I hardly ever use it. I would use these for my watercolors. So I tend to use my archival ink when I use my watercolors. So I did not stamp those out, but I wanted to say if you're going to watercolor, you need to use one of these two. Okay, anywho, here I am rambling, and I'm going to be back at 18 minutes. I took some different stamp sets. I took the Happy Everything sentiments from the Happy Everything stamp set from Mama Elephant. I also used the Honey Bunny stamp set from Mama Elephant, and then I did use one Avery Elle stamp set just so I could show you the fine detail on everything. So, you're going to see here the top one is VersaFine. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get all this in the camera. So, you can see that this is the VersaFine. Here's the Simon Says Stamp ink. Let's go like this. Okay. Still is a little splotchy on the Happy for the VersaFine. There's the Simon Says Stamp. I believe, in my eyes, it's a lot darker than the VersaFine. Then you get the Lawn Fawn, which is very comparable to the Simon Says Stamp. Looks awesome. Okay. Then you get down to the MFT and the Memento. You can see, I don't know if my MFT is just getting dried out or what the deal is, but you can see how splotchy that is. I don't like that when I'm stamping out bigger stamps. So if you're going to do a bigger stamp like the Happy, I highly, highly recommend either the Lawn Fawn or the Simon Says Stamp inks. Highly recommend them. Now for like the smaller word, the Everything, they all look really, really good. There's nothing wrong with, I would say, any of the stamps or any of the inks on the smaller sentiments. So they all kind of have their own purpose, and you'll see that as I continue to talk about all of, how I stamped everything out. The VersaFine is more of a detailed, it is a pigment ink, so you can heat emboss it, as well as the Avery Elle ink. I stamped the Avery Elle ink back here, and you can see how it sits on top of the paper, so it does not, soak into the paper. It just sits on top. So it does take longer to dry. You can heat emboss with that as well, and you can just see it's just splotchy. Okay. Now, what I did do is I did stamp out the Memento and the MFT, this image here, because those would be the two inks that I tend to go for my Copic coloring. I hardly ever use them for sentiments, just because I like my Simon Says Stamp black ink, and now I really love the Lawn Fawn ink for sentiments. A very crisp black. I highly recommend them too. But for Copic coloring, it's either going to be the MFT ink or the Memento ink. And you can see it here. I'm just hoping my camera will pick it up. You can see how much of a better image, stamped image, you're going to get. The first one is the MFT. You're going to get a little bit better of a stamped image than you will with the Memento. Memento is splotchier than the MFT. So, personal preference, I grab my MFT. I hardly ever use my Memento ink anymore just because I like the MFT ink when I am doing my Copic coloring. Now, on to the VersaFine, the Lawn Fawn, and the Memento. I wanted to kind of show a comparison of the VersaFine ink on what the purpose of that ink for me is. And you can see here, I stamped the VersaFine on top, the Lawn Fawn, and then the Memento. The VersaFine is perfectly crisp, looks amazing, and you can see it with this sentiment here from Avery Elle. You'll really get to see the big difference. Now you can look at the Lawn Fawn, that looks really good as well, except I've noticed the R is a lot darker than that R. I don't know if it was how I stamped it, and then the Memento on the bottom. You just get more of a finer detail with that VersaFine. I don't know if I'll be able to zoom in. You can just see it's just more of a finer detail, in my opinion, than anything. If you're using the finer, or if you want more of a detail on like the smaller sentiments, you're going to want to use that VersaFine. As you can see how nice and crisp that looks on the VersaFine. And then this would be the Lawn Fawn. Looks great there too. And then here's the Memento. And you can see it didn't stamp out perfectly. You can see that on the M and the Smart. Not like the way they did on the top two. So I guess it's just personal preference. I did stamp out that more detailed sentiment in the pigment ink, and it actually looks really good there. It looks a lot better than the Memento, but this is a different purpose ink. You can heat emboss with it and stuff like that. So yeah, I just wanted to do that quick comparison for you guys so you could kind of see the way the different black inks stamp. So if I am going to watercolor, I'm going to use my archival ink because this is my go-to ink for watercolor. Then if I'm going to stamp just a regular sentiment, I'm either going to go to the Lawn Fawn or the Simon Says Stamp black ink. If I want more of a if I have more of a detailed sentiment, as I showed you, I'm going to grab my VersaFine. And if I'm going to Copic color, I'm going to grab my Favorite Things ink. You don't need all these inks, but that's just what I like to use for certain things. I just wanted to share that with you guys. And yeah, I hope everybody has an amazing Sunday, and I will be back with my March Click Kit. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.